Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, I'm honored to open this side event on life imprisonment, its use around the globe, and how to address its serious implications on the enjoyment of human rights. I'd like to thank Portugal, Austria, Penal Reform International, the University of Nottingham, the American Civil Liberties Union, the Howard League for Penal Reform, and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime for organizing this event with us. We're in the midst of a global prison crisis. Imprisonment remains the default, if not the only, response to crime in many countries. The global number of prisoners has reached record levels. Approximately 11 million people are currently imprisoned worldwide, and over 100 countries report levels of imprisonment that exceed their prison capacity. Within this crisis lies the very issue we are addressing today, the use of life imprisonment. Although we welcome the progressive abolition of the death penalty among states, we are concerned that life imprisonment has replaced capital punishment as the most severe penal sanction in 149 countries, and its use is increasing rapidly. Research shows that life sentences are now applied to a wider range of offenses and for longer or indefinite time periods, including by means of life without parole. Nearly 85% of countries and territories impose life imprisonment, and 65 countries impose life imprisonment without parole. The costs and consequences for human dignity and human rights are immense and gravely affect progress towards the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda and its commitment to leave no one behind. Persons who are serving life imprisonment sentences are often subjected to stricter security measures, such as increased cell and body searches, as well as restrictions on visits, movement, and association with other prisoners. They frequently experience more punitive treatment than other prisoners, including worse living conditions, exclusion from education or rehabilitative programs, and solitary confinement. Sentences of life imprisonment without parole also make social rehabilitation and reintegration impossible, even though international human rights law clearly states that the purpose of the penitentiary system is the reformation and social rehabilitation of prisoners. In addition, some states participate in the shocking practice of sentencing children to life imprisonment. The United Nations Special Rapporteur on Torture has unequivocally stated that life imprisonment is grossly disproportionate when imposed on a child, and therefore amounts to cruel, inhuman, or degrading punishment. The Special Rapporteur on Contemporary Forms of Racism has added that life imprisonment for children has had a disproportionate impact on racial and ethnic minorities. Indeed, the Human Rights Council and the Committee on the Rights of the Child have urged states to ensure that no one under the age of 18 is sentenced to life imprisonment. We must join forces to change penal policies and practices to counter the upward trend in the use of life imprisonment. The forthcoming United Nations Common Position on Incarceration identifies over-reliance on life imprisonment as a serious global prison challenge and advocates for the rehabilitation and social reintegration of all offenders. OHCHR will continue to raise awareness of the human rights challenges posed by life imprisonment. We look forward to continued collaboration with PRI and other partners as we strive to advocate for practical solutions for ending or limiting life sentences and improving treatment of life sentence prisoners in line with international human rights standards. Today's event is an important contribution to this effort. I'd like to thank the speakers and panelists for their participation and wish you a productive discussion. Thank you.